Well, Jared, the 2 races run so far this year, he was 38th at Daytona, ran good there, but had a problem, but he finished 9th at Atlanta. So the young man is learning pretty quickly.
I tell you what, Bill Venturini, if Billy was in the middle of that mess, you'd be nervous, wouldn't you?
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, Jeff Purvis is pulling away, kind of leaving everyone right now, but that second group of cars, there's what, 15 cars running in one group? That definitely make me nervous.
As they go by, lapping by other cars, there we see our leader, Jeff Purvis, right at the very top of our screen. You can see how he's driven away from this group of cars.
Now, Bob Shack, who started on the pole, has dropped back to 19th position. He is still out there running, but he is not battling anybody for position. When they come up to contest him, he just lets them go.
You're riding with Mike Wallace in the Hans Klausner Furniture Industries Ford. This is the car that actually they borrowed from Junie Dunleavy. And I'm told that Klausner and all the folks from Germany are at the furniture markets in North Carolina watching the race today. And here's a car making a move.
That's Gary Bradbury that we're looking out the back window.
That's looking back at Wallace, and here's Wallace looking ahead at Gary Bradbury. They are running nose to tail in 4th and 5th position.
Speaking of Mike Wallace, he's had 2 good runs so far this season in the ARCA Series. He's finished 3rd at Daytona and 2nd at Atlanta. And who knows where he's going to end up today in Talladega. He's running pretty good.
Change of position as Wallace will make the move inside of Bradbury and take the spot away. Bradbury, remember, led the most laps on ESPN here at the season opener in Daytona. There's the car number 78 riding on the high side of your screen.
Speaking of Gary Bradbury, I know he's a good drafting partner because in Daytona, the first race of this year, me and him had made some arrangements to be dancing partners, so to speak, for the beginning of the race. And it showed, you know, he's a good guy to race with.
There's 3 abreast. Andy Hillenberg wisely backed off and fell in behind the 32 car of Mark Stahl. There's Peter Gibbons on the outside, the number 92 blue and white car. Man, this is a heck of a race.
That is 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. As you see Ken Allen in the car number 3 being shown in 11th spot. He makes the move down on the inside.
That's Bob Hill. He was trying to go by. Meanwhile, this is a 90 car once again trying to go by Gary Bradbury. Didn't we just see this a moment ago? Is this a replay? Guess not.
As you said, Bill Venturini, that high line seems to be the way to go. As you saw a little bit ago in the IROC race, and Bradbury just drafted right on back by Mike Wallace.
That's really unusual here because all the years I've raced there, it always seemed that the inside line would be a little faster, especially going through the tri-oval, but it seems like the outside lane today seems to be a lot faster.
And there we see Andy Hillenberg in 11 and Kenny Allen in the 3 car trying to get on the inside and go by, but you're right. No one could just pass on the inside today, Ned. They get down there and they keep losing spots.
Yeah, it's a little surprising because most of the time on this racetrack, if you got a car that really will stick down there, which on this racetrack is not that big of a problem to get it to stick, but maybe it's binding them up a little bit or something and losing RPMs, and you're right, they're just not able to pass.
The IROC race that was held just previous to this race, all the cars ran right on the outside guardrail. Right up next to the fence.
And, of course, Dale Earnhardt won that IROC race in an exciting finish. Last lap, as always, in the National Race of Champions competition. What a great one. They had the fans on their feet for that one, as they are right now. Do you see Mike Wallace now? What's he signaling there, Bill?
I think he's telling somebody to come on with him as we see Harris Devane.
He wants to get to the outside lane and then hook up with Harris Devane because it seems the outside lane's the way to go.
And Harris Devane lost the 2nd spot just a moment ago to Mark Thompson. There we see Thompson in that black car. That is our 2nd place runner right now. And Garrett Bradbury contesting Harris Devane for 3rd.
And as these guys do all of this great racing that we're seeing here, Jeff Purvis is just driving away from it.
Let's check in the pits with Michael Waltrip. Mike?
That car that Jeff Purvis is driving is engineered and worked on by Runt Pittman and the guys that built the car that won the Daytona 500 in such dominating fashion. Even when that second pack of cars were lined up in a draft, Purvis just motored away. If I was Sterling Marlin, I'd be standing on top of a truck right now grinning. He wins this race tomorrow. It's worth over $300,000 to him right here, and then maybe $1 million next week, or at Talladega, or at Charlotte, or somewhere down the road. $1 million waits for him. Kyle?
I'm standing here with Jimmy Horton. You won in Atlanta. You were getting ready to set a record for Kenny Schrader. All he needed was to win this race. What happened, man?
Yeah, we had the motor go sour. You know, it just didn't feel like it was up to snuff when the green dropped. You know, we couldn't run by ourselves like we did during the week. And, maybe we're just a little overconfident and thought we had more than we did. But, the car run good all weekend. Something must have happened with the air or something. It's the first time we run to Monte Carlo. We're not real used to it, so we'll learn for the next one. We're going to go get him at Michigan.
Well, maybe Schrader should have brought his old car back and let you drive that one instead of running this new Monte Carlo or something.
Sitting in the truck. We were debating after the first round. We qualified 6th. Kenny said, well, let's take the old one out now. But, that's the way it is. I'm heading back to Middletown, New York tonight to run a dirt race, so we're going to have fun.
Well, like you said, Schrader will be back to try to set another record, and so will Jimmy. You guys?
Jimmy said, if I win this race, I got to hustle to the airport. I got a private plane waiting to get me to Middletown for dirt racing. He said, what a difference. As they scramble all over the racetrack, laps continue. Exciting ARCA action here at the world's fastest stock car facility, Talladega Superspeedway. Back at Talladega, Alabama, this car, Mike McNeese, slowing moments ago, came down. Apparently, may have cut a tire. Looks like they had some smoke out the left side exhaust. How are you seeing this car from above? Well, you're getting this great shot, courtesy of the fine folks of the Family Channel blimp, currently in the area as part of its 1995 nationwide tour dedicated to promoting the power of family by using the blimp to support charitable organizations involved with the special needs of children and families. As always, thanks to those fine folks from Family Channel bringing us these great shots from high above Talladega Superspeedway.
There we see the Talladega Superspeedway, 2.66 miles in length.
And Benny, that big lead that Jeff Purvis had a little bit ago seems to be evaporating. Those guys have sort of hooked up in single file back there. They're not racing like we saw them a little bit earlier, and they're gaining on him.
Yeah, that's the good news, bad news. The good news is they're gaining on the leader, Jeff Purvis. The bad news is the fans aren't entertained with those 2 and 3 abreast.
Yeah.
There we see the leader, Jeff Purvis, the red and white car right at the left of the screen, and there comes Mark Thompson in 66, the black car. And you're right, Ned, only a few car lengths separating the 2 right now.
And, folks, you can see the effect of the draft now. The closer they get, the more effective it is. But they've been able to pick it up for the last several laps and just run up on him like if they had 100 more horsepower. Feels that way, doesn't it, Bill?
Oh, when you get in that draft, you really appreciate when you have a good race car and a good motor. It just kind of sucks you right back up there. And I know how Jeff feels. He's sitting out there kind of like a sitting duck here waiting because there's nothing he can do about it. Once you get 3 or 4 cars in a line, they're faster.
Well, he's sitting there running wide open. That's all he could do.
And we are told that leader pit stop should be coming up momentarily. Watch for Jeff Purvis. If you look at the field summary to see where your favorite driver is running or who is out of the race, as it were, there are 20 cars still on the lead lap with the final car number 31, Randall Ritter, as Purvis now is slowing, and we heard he may be coming in.
And all these cars are going to come with him. And then is this not too early? 32 laps?
It's earlier than we predicted. That this will be their 36th lap as they come around now. We thought they'd go 40 to 45 laps, but normally on the first pit stops they don't go as far as they would a little bit later in the race.
These guys are just terrified they're going to lose the draft of Jeff Purvis. That's why they're coming in. Yeah. They can run farther, but they're terrified of losing Jeff Purvis' draft.
And from high above, you saw that Family Channel blimp shot. Let's go to the pit road and John Kernan.
And there's a crash out in turn 4 as Purvis comes in. They will not do anything work to the car. He takes off, but Bradbury will take right side tires. Right, Purvis left without taking any service. Bradbury is in for right side tires only.
And the wreck is still going on.
There are still cars spinning and sliding up on a turn 4, at least 7 or
Here
maybe 8
comes another
cars.
car awfully fast.
As traffic coming through, and there's a lot of debris up there, and one car up against the outside wall, and they're trying to get these cars slowed down. They are too wide now. There is Joey Sontag coming by as the field now slowing out of turn 4. That's Andy Belmont's car number 5. It's come to rest against the outside wall. He had that horrific crash in Daytona back in February.
Here we see Jeff Purvis, all these cars coming down. There's Mark Stahl stops and pits. Jack goes under. The 90 car, Mike Wallace stops. Jack is going under. And now Jeff Purvis starts to stop, and the crew starts under there. And someone says, no, 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 no. Caution, caution. Go ahead.
And, you know, there's another advantage of pitting all the way down at the end of pit road. They hadn't had time to start to work on that car. They said the crash is going on, so they shot him right on out. And here is that crash, really big time.
There we see Andy Belmont in the 5 car.
Henry Wallace just got hit really hard by Randall Ritter there.
Randall Ritter, the windshield flew out as he backs across there. Ooh! Who is that? The 19 car?
Car number 19 involved. Another one of the rookie drivers.
I saw Mark Gibson up on the inside retaining wall in the number 7 car.
The 19 is Rob Smith out of Destin, Florida. Mark Gibson involved in the Chrysler LeBaron, Charlie Newby's car.
There we see 62 going by spinning.
You see Bob Dodds was involved in that wreck too.
John Todd. Is that the black? Is that black car with the yellow, the red numbers? Is that 19? Okay, that is Rob Smith.
And here is from the speed shot with the natural sound of what happened here just a moment ago.
Ever see Rob Smith? He's crawled from his car.
That's as the leaders will come in. The pits are open, and all that debris still up out of turn 4. At least 6, maybe 7 cars involved as the field now will dodge their way down through that debris and wrecked car as they will head down pit road for their second pit stop. Actually, it'll be their first pit stop for many of these cars. The leaders are beginning to make their first stop as we're under caution for the second time today.
Jerry, I believe even those other cars had started to work on them. They perhaps just changed right sides, and I believe they got back out and maybe stayed in the lead lap.
Let's go to Kyle Petty. Kyle?
I'm here in Mark Thompson's pits. They've changed right side tires. They've changed left side tires. He put 2 rounds of wedge in. That's why they're just now getting to the left side tires. But basic pit stop, you know, these guys are in and out. Some of these guys used to work with Bill Elliott, so they're a good crew, guys. Kernan, down to you.
Jeff Purvis is in. They were going to change just right side tires, but they waved him out as soon as that wreck happened in turn 4. As you see, Kevin Ray has already left the road. It will be a 4-tire change now for Purvis. Gary Bradbury took on right side tires. He stayed in the pits, did not lose a lap. He will take on left side tires now. Left side's going on now for Jeff Purvis. The lug nut's being tightened. He's already got a full load of fuel. Purvis is down and away, and so is Bradbury.
So pit stops, the order of the day. There is Jeff Purvis, who was about to make a pit stop and almost to his pits, as Ned Jarrett so astutely pointed out. He was all the way at the end of pit road when the crash occurred, and they said, leave. As they whipped the air hose up, and he took off, and that saved him some valuable time.
Yeah, if he had been pitting up in the middle of the pits, they would have already had the car jacked up. They would have been working on it. But
As the 90 car, that happened to the 90 car, and I think the 30. There was him carrying one of the drivers.
That's Andy Belmont.
Andy Belmont, yeah. He looks like he's talking to him. Evidently, he's banged his ankle or something. That's just speculation, folks. I don't know that.
And here's Randall Ritter out of Franklin, Tennessee. He is coming. He is 48 years of age. Randall getting helped out of the car by
did I see the
crew here?
The roof is...
Randall bought that car from Darrell Waltrip in 1994.
We've got another driver on the ground here.
I mean, folks, when you hit at 170, 80 miles an hour, is that the tire, the right front tire jammed up? Is that someone else's tire, or is that his tire jammed up in the windshield of that car?
Wow.
Looks like his right front tire and part of the frame assembly has been shoved back up in there. As you said, this car he purchased from Darrell Waltrip, so thankfully it was built to the best safety specifications. The roll cage inside remained intact, and they have gotten him out. Now he is standing. Randall Ritter standing there with safety crews. Take a look once again at this incident, this last incident here in the middle of your screen coming up.
There we see the green car is Henry Wallace. And here comes Randall Ritter. Right now is the impact. And the windshield is flying from Randall Ritter's car.
Yeah, and he hit that thing hard enough with the right front. That was his tire that went back up in there.
I mean, it knocked it through the windshield, back in the car with him. Man.
So once again, some of the cars involved. Randall Ritter in the car number 31. Henry Wallace was involved. Rob Smith, Andy Belmont, Bob Dodds, and Mark Gibson. As you look at the Randall Ritter machine, Bob Shack is on pit road, and John Kernan is there. John?
Jerry, the work just completed. Shack got 4 tires, a major chassis adjustment in the left rear of that car to tighten it up.
Randall Ritter is talking to the people as Rob Smith is checking on him.
And here's a driver that he's waving apparently on the stretcher, and he waved to the crowd here just a moment ago to let everyone know that he apparently is okay.
I bet that's Henry Wallace.
Yeah, he's waving again. It'd have to be.
Again,
there he is.
I shouldn't speculate who that is. I really don't. But I'm told by the ARCA official that is Henry Wallace, as a matter of fact.
So caution for the second time today here at Talladega Superspeedway for a wild incident out of turn 4. Back with more action after this. Stay with us.